no more meat for me from now on, you know? So we do enjoy a short novel during a readathon. So I am bringing it back. Okay, oh no, wait, I can reserve it now. Guys, I'm gonna reserve it now so we don't lose it. So to me, November is fine. I've justified it, guys. I have justified it. Hi and welcome back to my channel, Sunshine Lorena. So guys, today we are doing my November TBR, and no, it's not going to be as crazy as last month's, but there's still going to be a lot of books on here. Not gonna lie, guys, not gonna lie, I'm still choosing a lot of books, but I've decided to be kinder to myself. Okay, so in November there is Believeathon, which I've never taken part in, and it's the final round, so I feel like, you know, it's now or never. I know to take part. So there's that. There's also LDR Athon, which has been hosted by Chloe Reads Books, and it's a week-long readathon, whereas Believeathon's a month-long. Plus there was other readathons that I was looking at, and I genuinely wanted to take part in them, but I decided not to do that. Because like now in October, like my TBR is crazy. If you've seen that video of how many books I had on there, I'm not doing too bad, to be honest with you, but I do feel like I'm starting to kind of tail off of my reading, so I think I need to be kinder to myself. So yes, we have those two readathons. I have decided to bring back my jar to pick some prompts and choose some books, but I'm not going to choose 5. I think I'm going to slim it down to 3. Again, being kinder to myself, maybe allow for a little bit of mood reading in between. And yes, a few books that I have to, well, not have to read, I always do this every time. There's a few books that, things I'm part of that I need to read as well. So without further ado, let's just get into this. I'm going to start with those ones that I need to read. So the first one is Emma by Jane Austen. Now this is part of Austen Along. I'm sure that's what it's called, Austen Along, which has been hosted by Kiara Foster, reading all 6 of the published work, full novels published by Jane Austen. So November's one is Emma. I'm really looking forward to this one. I always hear such great things about it. Don't think I need to go really into much of a synopsis because people tend to know Jane Austen books. So yeah, that's it. I have to read that one, and I really want to read that one. It's also my 10 classics I want to read in 2021, so it is a priority read for me to get that one done. Then the next one, I also like reading along with Chloe Reads Books book club, which is Chloe's Crime Scene Corner. It is the fiction pick in November, and the pick for her book club in November is Tender as the Flesh, and it's by Augustina Bastarrica, and this is a translated piece of fiction. It is translated from Spanish into English. The author is from Argentina, and yes, I've heard so many things about it. I had this as one of the books potentially to have on my October TBR, however it didn't end up on there, and it's one that I've had on there for a while that I want to read, but to be honest with you, I keep putting off a little bit, and I'm actually really glad because I think it's definitely one that I really want to chat with people and discuss it. So it'll be really good to chat with people in the Discord. So if you've not heard of this, it is a dystopian horror-ish book basically. So in, I don't know which time period this takes part, but basically something's happened and humans can no longer eat meat. It is like dangerous or poisonous or something to them. And, you know, instead of being logical and, you know, becoming vegetarians or whatever, they decide that cannibalism is the way to go. Odd, I know. So basically they decide that there'll be like some humans that are raised for consumption by people. I'm not entirely sure how the whole system works, what's exactly went wrong, and that's part of the reason why I've been putting off. Like, I'm really intrigued, but at the same time, you know, which is why I think it's good, because then I can discuss it with people, and if I do, I don't know how descriptive it is or anything, so we'll need to see how I get on with it. But in this world, then one of our main character, I think he is, I can't remember what his name is, our main character, he is involved in the process. I think he's in the slaughterhouse or something like that. But anyway, he ends up getting gifted one of these, they don't call them humans, they've changed, like, I don't know what they refer to them as, but they don't call them humans. And so he, you know, doesn't know what to do, but I think at some point he starts to actually see her to be like an actual human. That's the idea I get from this. So yes, I think I'm really intrigued by it, and if that's what it's focusing on rather than the actual process of everything, I think I'll be fine with it. But yes, that's why I'm actually really glad it's a book club pick, because I do not know how I'm going to feel reading it, but I am so intrigued, because how did they come to the conclusion that is the way forward rather than be vegetarians? It's very interesting to me. I find it really interesting, and I am a meat eater, but I would be like, you know what, no more meat for me from now on, you know? So yes, those are the ones that I have to, well, again, not really have to, I want to read, but have to read for those things. So yes, if we then go on to Believeathon. So in this round, I mean, I don't know how the other rounds have went before. Like I said, I've never taken part of it. It's being hosted by How to Train Your Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin, and it's the fourth round. It's like a children's and middle grade readathon, where you read books for children or middle grade basically, and it's one that people seem to be really keen on. I remember last year hearing about it, but I just didn't take part. So it's the last round, and it's very easy, simple and fun. And basically there's 30 cards of prompts and the minimum requirement is to read one book. You read one book and then you're done. It's just about having fun, basically, this last round. So what I've done is I'm just going to use a random number generator to randomly select some of these prompts. So I'm going to do 3 now with you guys. Like I said, I don't want to overload myself in my reading, because I did that now in October, and I have enjoyed the books. I am doing well, but it's a lot, and I don't think I can have another month like that, because that was crazy. So yes, random number generator, and then during the month, if I decide that I want to read more books for it, I'll do that again. I'm going to be doing weekly vlogs anyway, so it's the easiest thing, I think. So let's get to it. Okay guys, here we go. So it's 1 to 30, and let's go for the first one. Number 25, and what is that prompt? Let's see. 25, okay. Let's make it tricky. Let's make this hard. Choose your words wisely, the first to discard. Read a book with a 2-word title. So for a 2-word book, I went for Double Act by Jacqueline Wilson. So this came out in the 90s, show my age here because I read this when I was a kid. It's middle grade, and I have not picked up a Jacqueline Wilson book in many years. We will not say how many, but yes, it's been many years since I picked one up, and it's a little bit of a throwback for me. Like now in October I've had a few goosebumps, again a throwback, and I think it'll just be really fun. So super throwback. So 2 twins, Ruby and Garnet. They are complete opposites, but they have always been close, but lots of things keep changing around them, so it's like, can they be a double act forever? And that's kind of the premise of it. I know I read this when I was younger, but I can't remember. I mean, like I said, it's been many years, so yes, this will be really fun. Excited for this one. Okay, and let's go again for number 2. And it's number 10. Let's find out what 10 is. 9, 10. So, a recent spell has come awry, a newfound knowledge you must rely. Read a book released in 2021. Just had a little Google search, and I found one that I like the sound of, and it's available in script. It's an audiobook, which is really good, so it's a nice quick short one for me as well. And that is Red, White and Whole, and it's written by Ranjaji LaRocca. So this is this book is about an Indian American girl whose life is turned upside down when her mother is diagnosed with leukemia. So it sounds like it's going to be really interesting. Also, like, it'll be good to see how a tough topic like that's going to be done in a middle grade book. And I think it's going to be really interesting. It's an audiobook. It's like 2.5 hours, so it's a good length. Not overloading myself again with the TBR. So that's what we like to see, guys. And now for the third and final one that I'm going to choose for the moment of Believeathon. So let's go. Number 4. Number 4. When ink fills pen and pen fills page, the images will last an age. Read a book that has illustrations. Guys, it's going to be another throwback for me, and that's going to be The Story of Tracy Beaker by Jacqueline Wilson. So Jacqueline Wilson's books tend to have illustrations in them, and again, I have not read this in years. It's gonna be a major throwback. Watch the TV show, you know. And then actually I've just seen that like there's so many more other Tracy Beaker books that I didn't know about, because obviously I went past the age group that were reading them. So yeah, throwback vibes. I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning. So Tracy Beaker is 10 years old and she lives in a children's home. And yeah, all she really wants is like her own like family. And yeah, it's following her in her story. And you know, Tracy Beaker's a funny character. She always acts up and things. So yes, it's going to be really good. I really enjoyed Jacqueline Wilson's stories when I was growing up. So that's it for Believeathon. Okay, so now we're going to go on to my LDR Athon TBR, and that is the readathon being hosted by Chloe Reads Books. So LDR, long distance relationship. She's in a long distance relationship and she decided to do a readathon kind of based prompts around that. And it's a week long, and it's running the 8th of November to the 14th of November. I'll link down to her video if you want to find out about it. You can go and watch it there. And yes, I always like Chloe's videos, and I join in her book club. So yes, when I saw this I thought great. Also because I myself have been in a long distance relationship, and now I'm married to him. So that worked out well for me, but it is really tough. I know it's tough, and we didn't have to go through that during a pandemic either. So I really do feel for everyone who's been in these long distance relationships and have had struggles to see that other person, their partner, during a pandemic, because yeah, there's been travel bans and restrictions. So yeah, I feel the pain, because it wasn't even that bad for me. So yeah, so yeah, so I want to take part in it, and yeah, let's just get into the prompts. Okay, so the first one is FaceTime calls. So read a book recommended by a friend. So this could have been like a real life person, like something in your real life. It could have been a booktuber. It could, you know, there was various different ways that you could have done this. So what I have done is I went with a booktuber recommendation, and that is Meg from Books, and I'm going to be reading And There Were None by Agatha Christie. I have not read an Agatha Christie book yet. I can't believe I haven't got there yet. I actually have one up here. This is not the one I'm going to be reading, but I have Murder on Orient Express there. I got it in the charity shop a few months ago, not read it yet. But yes, I really want to read some Agatha Christie books. I really enjoy murder mysteries, and she is like the queen of murder mysteries, so I definitely want to pick that up. And yes, so it's like, I think it's one of her best-selling murder mysteries. It's a standalone, whereas her other ones follow different like inspectors and characters and things. So yeah, this is a standalone, so I thought it'd be a good place to start. And also, like I said, it's her most famous. So I know it's set on an island where 8 people arrive, and I believe like one by one, like they're getting killed off. So I read The Islanders by S.V. Leonard. I don't know if you can quite see it in this shot. Back in March, and I know it's kind of based on a similar premise to this, so I'm hoping that I'm really going to enjoy it. So yeah, that is number 1. So number 2, 3,924 miles, book set in a different country. And for this one I went with Tender the Flesh, because yes, it's from Argentina. Yeah, I don't need to go over the synopsis again. So yes, 2 birds, 1 stone. Love when we double up on things. So yeah, that was really good. Then we have Reunion, and it is read a 5-star prediction. For this one, I am going with The Lost Daughter by Elena Ferrante. So I have read her Neapolitan Quartet. I have it here. I finished it off a little bit earlier, and it was back in summer actually. I finished it off, and I absolutely loved her writing style. The series, like different books, it varied on what my rating was, but her writing, I absolutely love it. This is coming out as a film on Netflix, I believe the start of December, I want to say. So it's one that's on my radar and that I want to read. So this is not a long one either. It's 160 pages, so we do enjoy a short novel during a readathon. So in The Lost Daughter, we follow Lida, a middle-aged divorcee who's alone for the first time in years when her daughters leave home to live with their father. Her initial unexpected sense of liberty turns to ferocious introspection following a seemingly trivial occurrence. Ferrante's language is as finely tuned and intensive as ever, and she treats her theme with a fierce, candid tendency. So yes, I absolutely love her writing. I have high hopes for this, and yeah, she's gonna become an ultimate author for me because I really love her books. So yes, 5-star prediction. I really hope it's true. But yes, she writes beautifully. So if you haven't checked out her books, I recommend, definitely. Then we are doing airmail. Read a book that's gifted for you. So on this one, there was various different ways, obviously being physically gifted a book to you. And Chloe like did different ways, like borrowing a book like from the library because it was gifted to you, like as a temporary gift from the library, etc, etc, etc. So various different ways. Now I do have a few books on my shelves that have been physically gifted to me, and I'm not choosing those. However, potentially I will, and I'll explain in a moment. I might pick up one of them, and that's The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary, who was gifted to me by my mum. So I might, as a backup, I have that one to pick up for this prompt. However, I'm going with the whole library thing. So I have 2 books on here that I'm actually borrowing as ebooks from the library. So they're being gifted to me temporarily. So I'm either going to use And There Were None by Agatha Christie, which I have reserved it. I should get it on the 6th of November. So that one most likely will be used for this prompt. Or the other option is The Lost Daughter, which I've chosen, and I did not explain it when I spoke to it about it a minute ago, but this one is coming available on the 12th, so it would only give me 2 days to read, which is a good thing that it's short as well. So yes, maybe not that one. I think it's going to be more And There Were None that I'm going to use for this prompt. Then we are doing, the next one is Travel Band's Comfort Read. Yeah, it's the last one. Sorry, that's the last one, yes. Travel Band's Comfort Read. So I went for The Lost Daughter by Elena Ferrante, and I'm going with that because I really enjoy Elena Ferrante's writing, and it comforts me. It makes me feel, I really enjoy writing, I feel comfortable reading it, and yes, I think I'm going to enjoy it, because yeah, I find her books wonderful, and yes, so it's going to be that. So for LDR Athon, that's 3 books that I've chosen, which is a week-long readathon. I could potentially do more, and like I said, I might switch things around. It just depends how my week is that week, but I know I'm not going to have as much free time as I do normally, so we'll need to wait and see how that one pans out. So, and finally, we are coming to the jar. We're coming back to my TBR jar. It has been, I didn't do it last month because, October was crazy with all the readathons, so I am bringing it back. We have the prompts, and yes, I'm only going to do 3 rather than 5 because I already have 6 books in my TBR. Although they're not overly heavy, big books, I do want to give myself a little bit more of kind of mood reading if I have the time to in the month. I don't want to be as tough on myself as I was in October. So let's do it. I'm gonna pick 3 prompts and let's see what I get. Okay, so let's do this. So prompt number 1. And what does that say? Oh, upside down and focus. Focus. Can you see that? Is that focus? It says translated. I don't know how focused that is. There we go. Translated. Okay. For translated fiction, I'm going to go with The Honjun Murders, and it's by Seishi Yokomozo. I hope that's how you pronounce it. I've maybe got that wrong. I will look it up and be better. So yes, this is a classic locked room murder mystery. It is translated from Japanese into English. It wasn't translated all that long ago. I don't know the exact year. I think it's a couple of years ago. However, it was written in like the 1940s. So yes, I don't know why, but it's taken so long for them to actually translate them into English, and I believe that this is inspired by And There Were None by Agatha Christie. So it's kind of perfect to read it in the same month after reading. I'll read this probably later on after I've read And There Were None. And yeah, so it's like a Japanese classic murder mystery. So in the winter of 1937, the village of Okamura is abuzz with excitement over the forthcoming wedding of a son of the Grand Ikachani family. But amid the gossip over the approaching festivities, there's also a worrying rumour. It seems a sinister masked man has been asking questions about the Ichanis around the village. Then on the night of the wedding, the Ichanini family are awoken by a terrible scream, followed by the sound of eerie music. Death has come to Okamura, leaving no trace but a bloody samurai sword thrust into the pristine snow outside the house. The murder seems impossible, but an amateur detective is determined to get to the bottom of it. So that sounds really great. I'm looking forward to that. I love a murder mystery, so yes, it'll be good to read like the original Agatha Christie that has inspired so many others, and then reading one that is inspired by it. Again, great. And yes, I do want to read more translated fiction, so yes, that'll be really good for this one. So great. Okay, and prompt number 2. Go for it. Let's see, what is it? Okay, now seasonal, and since it's gonna be November, to me that's basically Christmas, guys. I absolutely love Christmas, and you know, I absolutely love Christmas, and honestly I can't wait for Christmas. And you know, November really starts to feel a bit Christmassy already. So to me, seasonal, I'm going for Christmas because we're so close to it, and honestly Christmas is going to be starting early for me this year. You know, I want to make more of it this year, because like last year, you know, it wasn't good times for anyone. We were in lockdown in the UK even before Christmas and things, and yeah, so it wasn't great. So you know, I want to start Christmas early, get those feel good vibes, and enjoy the season. So I don't actually have any Christmas books on my shelves, guys. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a book from my library. I'm gonna do an ebook. Now this is obviously providing that it's available. Oh no, wait, I can reserve it now. Guys, I'm gonna reserve it now so we don't lose it. It's okay. Confirm reserve. I'm gonna have so many reserves coming up. Hopefully it isn't returned early. Guys, it was indeed returned early, but I have 20 days. So I have chosen Skipping Christmas by John Grisham. I've never read a John Grisham book, and I feel like, yeah, I need to, like, yeah, I don't know how I have went through life like picking up a book from him yet, but here we go. This will be the first one. So this is so it says, imagine a year without Christmas. No credit shops, no corny office parties, no fruitcakes, no unwanted presents. This is just what Luther and Nora Crank have in mind when they decide that just once they'll skip the holiday altogether. Theirs will be the only house in the street without a rooftop frosty snowman. They won't be hosting their annual Christmas Eve bash. They aren't even going to have a tree. They won't need one, because come December 25th they'll be setting sail on a Caribbean cruise. But as this weary couple is about to discover, skipping Christmas brings enormous consequences and isn't half as easy as they imagined. So I'm really intrigued by that premise. It sounds like it's going to be a fun read. Things obviously are not going to go to plan. I don't know why you'd want to skip Christmas, but anyway, it's also why I think it's a perfect one to choose for seasonal, because I know Christmas is in December, so it's like Christmas vibes, but like they're trying to skip Christmas. So to me, November is fine. I've justified it, guys. I have justified it. And now for the third and last prompt. It's that it's upside down. And we have Arc. And the final book in my TBR, which this will be book number 9, 10 on my TBR. This will be book number 10 on my TBR, guys, and it's Arc that came up. So I just hopped on to NetGalley. I have a NetGalley account, so I just went to the Read Now section, and guys, I found a gem. I have looked, it doesn't say that it is like a sample, because you know sometimes the Read Nows is just a sample. Actually, you know what, I'm gonna get my Kindle, because I have selected it, put it to send to Kindle. I'm going to check that it's actually the full book. Okay, I've just like downloaded it onto my Kindle, and it does look like it is the full book. So guys, it's a gem. So it is The Village of 8 Graves. So yes, it is another one that's getting translated to English by him, and so I'm going to be reading The Hundred Murders. And then there's this one. I can't believe this is on for Read Now. It does look like it's the whole book, guys. It does. It doesn't say sample. It looks like it's the whole book. So yeah, I can't believe it's on the Read Now. So yeah, it's been translated into English for the first time, and it's going to be released on, it says the 30th of November here. I did a quick look on Amazon and it said the 2nd of December. So maybe the 2nd of December is the UK and the 30th is America, or something. I don't know. However, yeah, like I can't believe it. I can't believe it, guys. Anyway, it is the third title in Japan's most popular murder mystery series. So there is like a second one that obviously I wouldn't have read by the time we get to this, but I don't think linked. They're different murders. I'm kind of like Agatha Christie in the sense that even if the ones that follow the same detective, you can read other ones and it's a whole new case. So it says, nestled deep in the mist-shrouded mountains, the village of Eight Graves takes its name from a bloody legend. In the 16th century, 8 samurais who had taken refuge there along with a secret treasure were murdered by the inhabitants, bringing a terrible curse down upon the village. Centuries later, a mysterious young man named Tatsunya arrives in town, bringing a spate of deadly poisonings in his wake. The intimately scruffy and brilliant Kozuki Kindamachi investigates. So that's our detective. So yeah, guys, that was a great find. I do need to keep looking at NetGalley more. So that's a really good one. Great that came out of the TBR jar. So yes, so this is 10 books I believe I have on this TBR, which I've been averaging about 10 books a month, to be honest with you, but yes, quite a few easy still grades and things, and hopefully I'll allow for some mood reading if I need to. And that's it. Let me know if you've read any of these books. Are you taking part of any of these readathons? And yeah, comment, like, subscribe, and I will hopefully see you in my next video. Thanks, and bye.